Hi, this is Lynn Ballinger. I am standing here in Tesaloniki, Greece. This is a historical city, one of the oldest cities that still exists in the world, dating all the way back to the Bible times. It was very famous because the Apostle Paul was on his missionary journey going one direction, and God gave him, he spoke to him in a dream to turn south and go to Macedonia. We call this in the Bible the Macedonian call. And as he comes down, he comes into this region, which included Philippi, and then finally here, what we call in the Bible Thessalonica, which actually in Greek is Tesaloniki, which is right here. And all of these buildings that you see around me, even this big tower, famous tower, they call it the White Tower, that was built later by the Ottomans. None of this was here. But Paul was here, and he was preaching to the Thessalonians, there was a synagogue of Jews here that he went to, and they didn't receive his message. In fact, they got together and pulled a group of bad guys from this city together to create a riot. And in the riot, they came even at night and were beating on the house of Jason where Paul was staying with Silas and Timothy. And out of fear for his life, they put him in a boat here, right here in this water, and they took him, and by night, he sailed way down south to Athens. That's how Paul came to Athens, from right here. The Jewish people here were so angry with the message because it so went against their traditions that they made this statement, and you can read this story in Acts chapter 17. They said, "The men who have turned the world upside down have come here also." So you know the power and the work of the faith and the gospel in that day because of what they said. And so Paul ends up going to Athens. He ends up, for the first time, really in the center point of where God called him to be, right into the middle of the Gentile world, in the capital of worldwide idolatry, the city of Athens. And God really shifted his whole ministry from there, because from there he went on to Corinth. But standing right here at Thessaloniki, I am so excited to be in one of the most biblically important cities and historical cities in the world. And it's exciting to know that I'm standing right here in the same place where Paul preached almost 2,000 years ago, and where the Christian faith and the power of the gospel message begin to spread from here and ultimately to all the world. And what I want you to know from this is I'm standing here at night in Thessalonica, Tesaloniki, where Paul was taken away by water. I want you to know that whenever God tells you to do something, things don't always just work out perfectly, and you don't even know why things happen like they happen. I'm sure Paul he was just trying to do good. He was just trying to obey God. And these people came against him, wanting to kill him. But God used that riot to push him to the place that he wanted him to be, because it was from Athens and then Corinth that followed Athens. That's where everything began to change in his life. And so listen to God, follow what God says, because you never know how many things will change and what God will do through you if you're just walking in his footsteps.